Okay.
Today, we're going to discuss about the topic called material exclusion and inclusion. What is this exclusion and inclusion? So, while raising sales orders, assume that you have two industries altogether working for the same customer. Okay, so the customer is a wholesaler and retailer. Wholesaler, assume that he can able to buy the quantities more than 200 grams. That means below 200 grams, like 50 grams or 100 grams, whatever the quantity of the material, if we take in his line item level of your sales order screen, it should not be allowed. How do you restrict? That is one way. That is one advantage with material exclusion. That means you are excluding that material not allowed to raise a sales order. And what is the business context or in your real time world, how it will be useful to exclude a material? So assume certain kind of dangerous chemicals are there that the normal customers they cannot order in their sales orders. Probably that can be only supplied to your government. Such kind of material codes, if you accidentally or intentionally, if your customer service or else a direct customer entered into the sales order at item level, it shouldn't be allowed. For example, you have A, B, C, and X material will be there. X material will not be allowed. Then, when they put X material, it will not allow you to save the sales order. It will throw in a hard error. This material got excluded. So you have a list of 1,000 materials, out of which you can exclude two materials, or else nine double nine eight materials you can include. Then the remaining two materials will be excluded. It is vice versa. This is opposite manner. This is two phases of your determination for material exclusion and inclusion. Inclusion means if you done inclusion, that if you out of 1,000 materials, if you done inclusion for two materials, remaining 998 materials will be excluded automatically. If you, or else if you followed the rule, like you just excluded two materials, remaining 998 materials will be included for your sales order. To take it further like that, out of the SKUs available, which materials need to be excluded or included, that the requirement you will get it from your customer. So what is the basic advantage? Let's assume you got a, in our example, cocoa chocolate business is there. So milk powders only allowed for distributors, not for wholesalers and retailers for direct buying from choco milk powder company. So then your retail customer or wholesale customer try to order the milk powder, then system says that don't try to put this material because it is excluded, it will not be allowed. But if you go for distributors, that means retail channel and wholesale channel, like that, if you have created a one more distributor channel, so maybe certain key combination it works in your condition technique, then it will allow you to take the order for your milk powders. So like that, you can do like this. And another example, if any material, suppose it is already using uh, chocolate 100 grams, that is no, now it is not available, maybe from today onwards, like, or also from August 1st onwards it is not available. So till previous months you can able to order it from today or August 1st onwards it is not available then. So that material will be excluded. From new month onwards, you can able to order only 200 grams, minimum 200 grams. So that the material SKU will be excluded at sales side. But you have a manufacturing that might be useful for in another country or somewhere else, but it will not be allowed for your distribution channel. Like that, you can able to include, you can do the inclusive, and you can do the exclude, that means exclusive nature you are determining for your sales order line items. Now let's try to do how to do this configuration. Now I'm just trying to drive that what we have discussed theoretically. So that is for you, by using condition technique, we can able to derive the same thing. Like this condition technique will be useful in several concepts in SD and across in your MM or PP, any other module if you take. But SD, as of now, we have seen free goods and your pricing procedure determination and your there first we got introduction for our condition technique. Now go to sales and distribution, basic functions. So listing and exclusion. So this is the configuration. This is simple configuration. First, try to create maintain condition table for listing and exclusion. So what are all the condition types available? So these are the certain tables available. Now let's try to take our own table like 605. So this is not available. I'm just in the change mode. Let's try to create. So 605. So let's take simply country and try to take material. Okay, let's try to create this table. Now we created this table 605. Now in the similar manner, once you define condition table, try to place this table in access sequence. So if you see in standard, we have two access sequences are available, A001 for listing and B00 for exclusion. Let's try to check what is the standard table they have used. Maybe they have taken the key combination 1, customer material key combination for listing. And if you go for exclusion, again they have taken the similar kind of material, table. Now let's try to create our own way of exclusion and inclusion. G001 for material exclusion, G002 for material inclusion. So I have taken two access sequences. So let's try to click on exclusion access sequence. Let's take, we have created a table called 605 and let's select this and try to determine in the similar way how we did it pricing. So now let's try to go back. For inclusion also, I'm just taking the similar combination. So let's try to determine again. If you want, you can take different combinations. For this example, I'm just taking the similar table for both. So this is exclusion and inclusion. So now let's try to put it exclusion types, like how we have the condition types, right? For listing like pricing, we have to define like free goods only. This is, you don't have any broader spectrum of definition like how you have pricing condition type. So let's try to take new entries. So we have taken G001. So this is basically for your exclusion. So I'll just give you the name for exclusion. And the next one is G002 for inclusion. This text you can give any name, it depends on your customer requirement. So for at least our meaningful understanding, I'm giving this one. So this is for material inclusion. So now you can say like how you done for your free goods when it is valid. So if you wanted to change it, that you can able to change it at your records maintenance level. Now let's put it for 2 days only. So this one also for put it valid from today, and let me try to put it for today. So let me save this one. You can choose the date parameter like this for your condition type. So if you don't want to choose it, you can just keep it blank, and at the time of maintain condition records, you can able to choose it. Since I just wanted to mandate it to show that one up. So now you have defined, you just defined your condition table and you place it in your access sequence. So your access sequence you assign to your condition type. Now the condition type need to be placed for your procedure. So you'll have two different procedures like this. I'm just copying this. Maybe I can take, maybe I can take for my exclusion G002 is the procedure. Copy it. Either you can copy it or define it. So in free goods, so we just defined it. Now if you see, mine is for listing is means listing means inclusion. I'm just taking this one. I'm just given the text as inclusion, but actually this is a listing. So I'm just taking G02. So let's go back, and for exclusion, we take G001. So now you got your listing and exclusion. So listing is you got it correctly, and exclusion also you got correctly. You don't have any definition like how you have pricing procedure for this. Now let's try to activate listing and exclusion by sales document type. So what is our document type? Till now we have used Jaguar1. So my listing procedure says this one, and exclusion procedure says this one. So this is how we defined for listing and exclusion. So if you see allowed fields means like if you have any specific combination, whatever the existing fields, if it is not sufficient, then you can able to define your own fields. You just check with your technical team. They will try to add to that relevant structure, and after that it will be flown to your header and item. But for as for your customer requirement, if you want to take it as a header or item, it all depends on your requirement. So generally we will use standard ones, but in one of my projects we have used different fields like outlet type and outlet subtype. It depends on the customer requirement. So now your listing and exclusion configuration is done. Now let's try to create a sales order now. I'm just entering the sold to party. So now if you see this material I just entered, I would like to exclude, I just do the inclusion for this material. Then I have another set of materials also got created in my SAP system. Let's quickly go to the Marcy. Till now whatever the material codes we have created for our 1CHM plant, so we got created. So all these four materials, when I did it 200 as an inclusive material, that means all these three materials got excluded. This is how the system behaves. So let's try to understand how it need to be created. So if you see VB01 is the transaction, you specifically use it for your listing or exclusion type. So now let's check what is our inclusion. That means listing, how it will works. I have given this name for my convenience. Actually, this is for listing. So our country is DE, right? Let's try to enter DE as country. So material, I'm just trying to list. It is 200 in this example. So double click it. Nothing is going to work because we have just taken the validity. We're not going to see the definition like free goods or other condition records definition here. Just simply for you just wanted to list this material so that other materials will be delisted for this country combination. Now let's try to save this condition record. Let's try to create a sales order now for your retail. So customer is DE, right? Hamburg means just try to enter the material. So doesn't matter. So one box. Now try to enter any other material. So this is 200 listed means other three materials will be excluded. Let's try to enter it. So it is saying something else. One second. Let me try to put it. One second. So I think it need to be activated at our document level properly or not. We'll try to recheck our settings one more time. Now if you see, for all our settings all right, but somewhere it is taking, it is, since it is a practice server, it is taking some time to save to your database. So now let's try to enter. This is the inclusive material. If I say, if I go for this material again, so it is showing, so this material is not listed, therefore it is not allowed. What is the listed material? That is only 200. Now let's try to put it another material. Again, it won't allow you like this. Now let's try to do the exclusive and converse manner. So that means if you go here, so our plant, it is holding three materials. So 200 and 202, I will put it for exclusion so that 203 and 266 it will be allowed. 203 and now inclusion means if I say this one, the remaining will not be allowed. If I say exclusion means remaining all will be allowed. I will just put it exclusion for first two materials, 200 and 202. Now let's go to uh, condition records of material inclusion again. Let me try to put it, delete this one. I don't want to go for it. Inclusion, just to save like this. Now again, go it for G001. So for G001, 200, and I am putting 202 in my exclusion list. So that means 203 and 206 it will be allowed. Now let's quickly try to create a sales order now. So previously inclusion I maintained. Now we are checking exclusion behavior. So as we said that 202 is got excluded now. It is saying you cannot do it. Like that 200 also excluded, it won't allow you. But if you see 206, it will be allowed actually. But because this material not extended, that's why it is throwing an error. Or else you just take 203. So as of now, it is allowing. So now like that, if you compare 200 and 202, those are excluded, and your 203 will be automatically inclusive in nature because the above 200 and 202 materials got excluded. So let's try to put it to 200 one more time. This is how your materials will be excluded for certain requirement. You can take any key combination, sales organization, distribution channel. Sometimes certain materials will be allowed to wholesale, certain materials will not be allowed for your distributor, certain materials will be allowed for only for specific country. As I said that now, this is applicable for this country only. If you go for another country, it won't work like that. This is how you have to define your material exclusion and inclusion on a brief.